Damn it. Hey, welcome back to the Goggle and Jack channel. I have scrawny 6-inch wrists. So options for everyday carry watches for me are pretty limited. But I have found a few that do work for me, even some that are a little bit on the large size. So let's look at each one individually, and I'll show you what it looks like on a 6-inch wrist. And if you're interested in any particular watch in this selection, I've got a playlist on watches. And all of these have their own review, except for this one. And this one was recently reviewed on Vine Climber's channel. So I will link her video in the description, and I'll link the playlist for all these watches in the description as well. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's start with one of the largest in my collection. This is a Orient Mako 2. It is a 41.5mm case size. And to make this work, I had to remove 2 links on each side of the band. It wears small for a 41.5, and it wears small due to the shorter lug-to-lug size, and the lugs turn down pretty abruptly at the end. So this is the largest watch I can get away with, and it's got some wrist presence, that's for sure. And this is an automatic, so it's kind of thick too. This is also a 41.5. This is an Orient flight watch or Flieger. And the lug-to-lug is a little bit longer on this one, but it is not a metal band. It's just a strap, and the straps can turn down vertically pretty quicker than a metal bracelet. So this works, but again, a lot of wrist presence, and the lugs are right just about at the edge of my wrists. And this is a Casio G-Shock, the 5600. 5600 is probably the smallest of the G-Shocks, unless you get like a Baby G. And Baby G has Baby G written on it, and I don't want to pick up the nickname of Baby G. Here comes Baby G. So the 5600 is a great watch and inexpensive too, as far as G-Shocks go. I cut a little bit off the band because with my short wrist, it was sticking out. But you can do that. You cut it right off. Okay, this is a Timex Expedition. Really nice watch. Is Indiglo. This is a 40mm case size. And for me, I think the 40 is my favorite. 38 to 40. Anything larger than that, and it starts to look pretty awkward. I'll wear 41.5 if depending on the watch, but 40 I think is my size. And here's another 40, but it's a weekender, and the weekender has thinner lugs. So even though the lug-to-lug size is the same, it looks to the eye, it looks a lot smaller. So a 40 with smaller lugs, thinner lugs, looks a little bit better on my wrist than thicker lugs that you get with the Expedition. All right, and now we're dropping down in size to a 38mm, and this one's on a NATO strap. NATO strap gives it a little more wrist presence, so it's a little bit thicker just due to the strap, and of course the strap goes underneath, so that picks it up a little bit. But that's a 38 compared to the 40. I think I prefer the 40. 38's fine, but I think I prefer the 40. Here we are with another Expedition, and this one is a 36mm. And for me, I think this is just the lower end of where I would go. We're back to the Casios. This is a Casio F91W. Pretty classic watch, very inexpensive watch. And I would say that this is probably comparable to the 36. But it has more wrist presence because of the band, although it's wafer thin. Okay, another Casio. This is the A158, and it is comparable to the F91W. They're calling this a 33mm, but I'm not real sure how they are measuring that. Depends on, I guess, where you measure it. but also works really well on a 6-inch wrist. And this one is wafer thin. I think the metallic band gives it more wrist presence too. Okay, this is my last Casio. This is the LWS 2200H, and it is probably comparable to a 36 millimeter. And if you look at it beside the G-Shock 5600, you can tell that there is quite a bit of difference, but much more wearable for a skinny wrist. I'm not sure if they're billing this as a women's watch or not. I think it's unisex, but the band is already short, so I need to trim it. And this is actually a good fitting watch for me. It feels small if you wear the G-Shock the day before. But if you're wearing like a Weekender or an Explorer that's a 38 or a 40 millimeter, it feels right in line with those. A lot of really great features on this. Check out Vine Climber's video, which I will link in the description. All right, well, there we go. If you've got small wrist, don't give up. There are some options out there. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.